You've had a great path. It certainly has had its ups and its downs, as all business owners. But as you reflect, sharing with the business owner audience, talk a little bit about your path to profitability, things that you struggled with, things that you did really well.
Yeah. I never had trouble making money. Revenue was not a problem ever. Signing more customers, getting clients, that was not a problem. Making good money, gross margin dollars, and managing expenses in a way that I really thought about profitability. I literally, for the longest time, thought your bank account balance was your P&L net income. I mean, that's literally how cursory it was at the very beginning. So when I realized, as I started to look at the cadence and the discipline of a monthly P&L and a balance sheet, and for me, I had to have a coach, which this is where Bill comes in. You know, I can't stress enough to the audience that's listening to this that if you're a small business owner and you're struggling with really, number one, understanding how to leverage your financials, because understanding your numbers is one thing, but then understanding your leverage points is a whole different thing. If you're struggling with that, then you need to hang up from this podcast right now, call Bill McDermott and get him to your office. So, for me, once I understood, I had to first understand the structure of my P&L. Then I had to really understand, and we talked about this all the time, how do I leverage my cost side as well as my margin side, as well as the productivity of my employee side? We talked about that a lot, to be able to run a more profitable business. And you helped me with everything from that first line of credit that we signed, and we took pictures in the bank. I still remember. I
remember
you
that.
know that. You
I have the picture.
I know, it was such a great moment for us because I was using factoring up to that point. I had a great factoring partner, Allied Financial, who I highly recommend when you start out, but it was expensive money. And when we started to put that money back into reinvesting in the business, it magically was like, sprinkling dust on, magic beans for us in so many ways to be able to grow it. So getting that line of credit. But the really critical part that you helped me with, there's two parts. One was understanding the leverage of that P&L. And if we could just change, remember we would leave the meeting and you'd say, Trish, I just want you to focus on this one thing. You'd put your finger up every time, this one thing, Trish. And I would nail it.
You were great at that.
I would nail it once I understood the one thing.
Yeah.
And the second thing is when I sold my business, I can't stress this enough to your audience, because you don't only get the 30 years of banking and understanding how a banker thinks about your stuff, but then you get the friendship and the coaching of somebody who genuinely doesn't have any dog in the fight other than to see you be successful. And that's so invaluable for business owners, because people will lie to you when it's something in it for them. They will tell you, oh, no, don't worry about this. Oh, you don't have to think much about that. Oh, we need to be spending money here. If there's something in it for them, people, just human nature is like that. The thing I loved about you was you were always so neutral about that. And you wanted to see what was best for the business, but also what was best for Tricia Dempsey. And it's hard to think like that sometimes as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.